Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup.
The goalies throughout different times in the game that I think are very indicative of their level of performance. Incredible early game, and it really starts to struggle. That's where they start to be more difficult on the coordinated play, but we're going to see if they can pull off this dive.
All right, 4v2. Kingen and Mohan got to try to survive this one. Who's going to take the turret aggro here at the very start? Looks like Mako. TES walking back away, but now Tien with that 3-talent strike already primed. It's first blood, though, the other direction. DK doing a good job. Mohan surely has to die here. A 1-for-1 trade, but in a 2v4, DK is going to be all right with that one.
I mean, there's good news and bad news for DK. The good news is that Kingen doesn't lose his life, but the bad news is he's being denied a lot of farm, so he's trying his best to get back underneath the tower.
But he is stunned. 369 Mako and Jackie Love want to try to deny even more here if they can. Kingen popping the counter-strike, staying alive for now. Nice two-man stun coming out, but Kingen down to about 50 HP, still staying alive somehow, but the volley claims his life. Top Esports get there.
They're being covered by Lucid, and they should be able to fix this wave no problem, but we can see Jackie Love already is starting a bit of a slow push here for himself.
Yep, him and Mako just going to have to try to deal with this 2v3 situation now. Moham immediately in with a crash down, shattering strike. Mako at 100 HP and aiming is on the board.
A clean gank from Dplus KIA.
They've got a really good trade on Cream, who doesn't have his teleport available, so did lose a couple of minions there as he gets shoved in. The wave isn't quite top. They're already going to be able to take the tier 1 top. They will win the race on this. And Top just playing the map really, really well.
Overall, I think Top Esports have just been playing the better macro game than DK have in the laning phase. And pretty much wherever they move on the map is allowing Top Esports a lot of control around these towers and these neutral objectives. The fact that they secured the 6.
It's going to go for that scaling build, so even kind of more indexing towards what they do see is, I think, their win condition, which is going to be scaling 5v5.
I mean, I can understand taking the Aftershock sometimes with the big health stacking build as well, since you're just building these items that give you such insane health pools but no resistances, having that extra tankiness from the Aftershock proc, as long as you don't miss your E and your R. I mean, if you miss those, then I guess why did you take the thing in the first place? But bottom lane tier 1 turret in some serious trouble now, has a little bit more damage, gets it done. Moham jumps in here with a Magnet Storm, immediately trying to make the fight happen in the 2v2. Meanwhile, the jungler fight off to the side ain't gonna matter because Moham is already dead. The arrows fly, and DK dies. Top Esports picking up 3 as Showmaker and Kingen tried to join up to help everybody else, but now they're in a bad spot too. Cream and Tien chasing after Showmaker. He's trying to buy himself a little bit of extra time. Top Esports are on the hunt for the Orianna. Showmaker still trying to get away. 2-man Shockwave. It don't even matter, man. Showmaker is going nowhere fast. Top Esports turret +4.
Top Esports, again, just wisely.
Sometimes not, but when you're already really ahead, it becomes so annoying because they're always going to get the push. Now they have the Herald. This is going to be 12 Void Mites popping out of this thing. It's like a clown car of Void Mites running out there.
Kingen jumping in though with a counter-strike for the engage. Tien is low, but Top Esports are going between worlds. Tien gets away, and a massive amount of damage pours into the DK lines. Jackie Love grabbing the first kill. Moham is down. Lucid jumps over the wall, but all DK can do is run. Top Esports are that far ahead.
Tien played that flawlessly. Bear in mind, he has no flash. He gets engaged on from a flanking Kingen. He then gets Skarner ulted underneath the tower, and patiently what he does is he
masterfully maneuvered by the Top Esports jungler in what looked like should have been a death sentence with that collapse. But the only thing, there is no contest for DK. They know how worrying it is to even try to go out and contest anything in neutral territory.
Yeah, I mean, it's really problematic now, and not only are they just trading a tower for a dragon, because Cream is pushing down bot side looking for that tier 2. It does survive for now, but that thing is about to go down to these Void Mites. That's 700 only at 147. He is very far away from that 225 breakpoint. And by the time it comes in, could be too little too late.
Tien over the wall, again, maybe looking for a fight. Kingen jumps in for the counter-strike. Jackie Love could be in a little bit of trouble here. Gets away for now. They're locking up the Jacks. Kingen can't do it. Moham's about to die here, too. Finally, they get one back on DK's side as Cream gets popped, but Moham's still getting away with only 100 HP. Lucid's here on the front line. Has to try to flash to get out of it. The Impale's going to be flashed back by Tien. As DK, they trade even
all across the map, but this bot lane in particular is really standing out here in game 1 of this series.
And now Top Esports have no intention of slowing down, invading the enemy red side jungle. Lucid and aiming, yeah, they're hanging around. They don't want to allow the red buff to just be stolen away this easily, but Top would love for these guys to step a little bit too close, and Lucid does just that. There's no way out for the Skarner. Tien ends up taking the kill, and gentlemen, we're 21 minutes into the game. The enemy jungler is down. Top Esports Esports have a ticket straight to the Baron.
Yeah, it's so tough, and Lucid had no flash, so being that far forward over towards the red buff is incredibly risky, and now it's going to be a largely uncontested Baron here, as King is just going to try to push and grab that bounty off of the tier 2 bot, get a little bit of gold back for the team, but this kind of lead, plus the Baron buff, plus 6 scrubs, is likely to mean nearly the end of the game, you have to think.
And you could even see the early TP from 369. Once Top Esports was confident they weren't going to be challenged at the Baron, 369 won't even allow the tier 2 turret in the bottom lane to fall. The tier 1 in mid is claimed by DK, but now they got to be careful because Kingan's in some trouble. Cream and Jackie Love in hot pursuit as Kingan wants to try to get away from this one, but they are sending 3 dudes after him. Jax, do we get out of these? I'm not sure. Maybe.
It depends if Mako flashes.
I mean, he has the...
He's flashing.
No, okay, yeah. Mako flashes over. The counter-strike isn't going to block enough. Not here, not now, no way, not yet. Kingan is down, and Cream's getting a payday.
The entire package here for Top. They have been looking very, very dominant in this game number 1.
And it's nice to see because in the playoffs...
So just a couple more, and he will be online Smolder. Now, the problem is, you're staring down the barrel of a 7,000 gold lead with a soul point status
And it's
for the
Hex
opponents. It's a really, really vertical cliff to have to climb right now for DK in this game 1.
Exactly, and Showmaker is a mile away from his third item. Probably the game being decided right here.
All right, it's soul fight time. TP coming in from Kingan. Top Esports backing away, but continuing slow DPS onto the Dragon. Kingan on the left flank. Everybody else on DK here on the right. Tien gonna be grabbed there by the Skarner. The objective bounty claimed by Lucid. DK getting it done, but now Cream's going between worlds off to the side while 369 and Kingan duel off on the left. It's gonna be the first kill on Moham. Top Esports are about to lose their mid laner. He's down. Now they're gonna turn right back over onto Kingan. The Jax goes into the Zonias. He's staying alive for now with another beautifully timed counter strike. He flashes back over the wall. DK's gonna try to regroup, but the Ashe has the damage. Jackie Love gets it done, and it's a 1-for-2 trade.
To turn the fight in Top Esports' favor.
Yeah, it just becomes so difficult, and now the Baron is going to be secured here by
Sure
Top.
that they did not give that Hex Soul, so at least you can count that as a silver lining. But Top Esports are barreling down top lane now. You can see they've still got 369 over in mid for the split pressure. It's still going to take them a while to try to chip through some of this, except for 369 nearly killing. There it goes, the one in mid lane already down as that inhibitor is now exposed. Top Esports happy to wait for the next wave to arrive here in the top lane. Objective bounty claimed in the bot lane at the same time as the tier 2 is destroyed by Kingan, and now Top sees the opportunity to full send it underneath the tier 3 here at the top side. It's already gone. Moham and Lucid going to be taking a lot of damage as Moham's about to be killed. Lucid gets away back underneath the Nexus turrets. Moham's still alive somehow. Top Esports haven't lost a man, and the Skarner's also down. 3v5 for DK. Top Esports claim their first inhibitor. They claim 2 inhibitor turrets. They get everybody out, and 369 is ready to retreat and teleport back into the fight.
Yeah, Eamon got a lot of members over on the top side really low, but he just couldn't actually finish them off, couldn't chase in to be able to get those kills, and now the job gets so difficult. The TP's coming back in.
All right, Top Esports want to end it right here. First Nexus turret and second, both dropping at about the same speed. Kingan wants to keep these guys away with a counter-strike, but it ain't going to do enough. Both turrets already dead. 369, tanking it up on the front line as Kingan is already down. Aiming, focused up next. He flashes back into the fountain, but it will not matter.
And Jax, I mean, they do magic damage too, right? Like, it's not quite a 50-50 split.
But they have some mixed
Lucid
in.
a little bit more agency and options in the other game. Not that I expect anything too creative in a Sejuani versus Skarner matchup.
Ooh, immediate jump in. The Zenith blade from
minute.
Moham is a mistake. He goes too far forward. A massive blunder from the DK support.
I mean, it feels like he just forgot about how Rel works, because Rel's going to flip you in. Like, yes, he maybe wasn't initially in the tower range, but he's just going to get dismount, flipped into the tower, stunned up, and Moham gives over a freebie. That is rough.
Ooh, nice engage coming up from Kingan here, trying to use that counter-strike to lock up Cream, who dies to the proc on the E snapback. Beautifully done there.
Combo with the grubs.
Top Esports would love to at least just smite one of these down, make sure that they can secure it. There it is, 1-1 on the first set of grubs, but DK has a 4-man unit ready to try to play here. Nice engage coming out. They go for the slam into the wall. Between worlds finds multiple targets as Showmaker now snaps back. A lot of pressure and damage onto Jackie Love, and he drops first in the fight. Tien finally gets a return kill here on a Showmaker. Showmaker, but now he's in a little bit of trouble himself. Moham gets away with just 100 HP as Mako is slowed down by the Sejuani, and Cream continues trying to find a little bit more damage. The weirding has some, but is it enough? They finally end up getting another 1-for-1 trade with a 2v2 here at the very end. Cream has more health, but he has no mana. Lucid trying to get away, and he has to flash to avoid the 3-hit passive.
Cream
They need to take advantage of how good they are in the early game, how they can build these advantages with their mechanics, with their individual skill, and set themselves up for a better spot. Nice engage there. The lockup on Jackie Love. Moham needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Jackie's still kiting. He gets away with sub 100 HP back underneath the safety of the turret.
A nice engage from DK, but great peel there from Mako. You know, normally in that situation, you wouldn't want from DK just connecting on Jackie Love with the very edge of the bullet time.
You're seeing the strength of getting that BF sword in the 2 versus 2, but 369, this is a kill angle.
Yeah, he's going in, wants King in here, flash to follow, jumps right back in with a little bit of footwork, and the Intofo strikes.
World thus far, so important for 369, having a bounce back game. Not only does he get the kill, he gets a plate off the back of it, procs to demolish, already had the Sheen as well. And we may be getting another scrap here, but it looks like it's probably too late from DK.
Well, hold on. Cream could be in a little bit of a compromise
It's never too late for
here.
DK, Azale.
DK still on their approach. They throw out the Glacial Prison, but it ain't going to find a whole lot yet. A lot of damage onto Jackie Love, barely staying alive here with about 50 HP. Showmaker going to grab the kill, but TM with a massive 3-man ulti. No damage to follow it up. DK will get their single kill. They will take away the one
He's on the
void.
top side of the map, and he's continuing to ramp up.
Yeah, if we're talking about item spikes, there's quite a few coming through right now. Hold on, we'll talk about him in a second, unless this turns into something absolutely crazy. There's your Wombo combo with the engage, the Ishtal impact from Tien, followed up with all the CC. Before we got the dive, first item power spikes are coming in for a lot of champions. You've got the Zeeks for the Sejuani, Heartsteel again for the Skarner in this game, along with that Bloodthirster for the misfortune of aiming that is 2-1-2, as Moham could be in a bad spot here. Crash down plus the weirding, a little bit of damage on that one as Kingen has to get away back underneath the tier 1 turret in the bottom side of the map at the same time with the bullet time flying in over the top. A lot of damage onto Cream, beautifully punished from DK as top chase a little bit too far, but now what is this? Lucid nearly caught out there thanks to the Skarner ulti, but a flash into an Arctic Assault back over the wall, and now Jackie Love is once again in the sights of aiming, and DK, one more shot to the head, and Jackie's out of there. Aiming still fighting as Tien tries to get the last little bit of damage onto Lucid to make this one a 1-for-1 trade, while Showmaker chases after Mako. Showing you, yeah, it's a huge advantage for aiming, but also a massive advantage for 369 in that top lane 1v1 that we haven't really seen a whole lot from after the solo kill. Now the Riptide is the target for top esports. Moham and Lucid walking up. Lucid wants to be able to challenge here for the flip, and he steals it away. Beautifully done with a bullet time in over the top. It's not going to find a whole lot of damage as Showmaker tries to jump in. He resets his position and gets back away, but Lucid's going to be killed off first as Cream tries to disengage. Kingen in the middle of everybody with a counter strike, but he ain't going to find a lot. 369 is on the hunt as Moham and Kingen try to get out. Tien still chasing. Moham's about to drop. DK lose 2 men. Yes, they might have stolen away the Herald. They do end up being able to pick it up thanks to Showmaker.
Yeah, and this time Showmaker actually going to TP back, and he's looking for Jackie.
He's ready to keep going. On the front line, though, with Kingen, they aren't going to find the target they're looking for. DK, though, they summon up the Rift Herald here in the mid lane. They claim the tier 1 turret.
Cream from Showmaker onto the back line, but you kind of look at who's actually in the fight, and it's really only Showmaker and Lucid, and so good target selection from top esports is now Cream.
Oh, Cream, they popped the tier 1 turret in time, and now with a TP coming in to reinforce him, it's Cream at 369 against Kingen and Showmaker. 369.
Long enough.
Still on the chase here, has the third Intofo strike, looking for the knockback. Hits Kingen. Not really a whole lot more to get out of this one, though. They had Mako and Tien coming up around the side in case the fight kept going, but top esports not going to disengage it after having kept their mid laner alive. Hold on, Moham. Now the target. Tien ready to tunnel through the wall here to back up Mako. Remember, this Leona is very, very, very tanky. Still at about half HP. Impale to drag him right on back. They are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this dude, and he's still getting away. Cream finally takes the kill.
I mean, that was available. And when we see the vision, DK is largely starved of this dragon.
And I think their top side is so strong right now. You know, 2 items across really the board here. You're looking at the jungle on the top from the other side, way weaker.
Showmaker over the wall there with the soul unbound, but he has to snap back. The Drake is going to be claimed before Lucid can try to show up and threaten a 50-50. Tien wants to jump over the wall. Lucid's about to lose the Arctic armor. They're trying to use a lot here on the Sejuani. The Impale only onto the enemy tank. Showmaker's looking for the angle here, but Lucid's going to be killed off first. Jackie Love taking the kill as Moham is isolated from the rest of the team. Jackie Love's trying to be protected by Mako and Tien. He needs to kite out away from the Yone, but a nice move coming out from Showmaker to take him down. Aiming is kiting it out. Tien is about to die. Kingen looking looking for a little bit more as Tien gets away, but finally aiming, getting the last auto attack, and a double kill back over to the AD carry from DK, but he's the only one left standing. 7 dead bodies.
That would have done, but he made the decision to instead shut down Cream to eliminate that threat.
Lucid could be in a compromised spot here, but he has enough time to get away before the rest of Top Esports show up. And it looks like Top is starting up the Baron. This
they want
is
to force TP from Kingen.
a little dicey. Yeah, they want Kingen's attention here. There is vision in that hallway near the Baron pit. Lucid is around.
There's the TP.
Top Esports now turning for the fight. Lucid's going to be the focus here at the start, taking a lot of the damage between worlds, ready to drop and try to keep DK in place, but Kingen has already killed Jackie Love. He'll be traded back. Lucid is very low. He's already going to be killed now as 369 goes on a killing spree. Over the wall he goes to bring back another one on DK's side. A double kill for the Cassante as he tries to get away, but Showmaker is making plays on Top Esports. DK is ready here in this second game. Even flashing over the wall there to escape Showmaker's Yone. Top Esports draft hubris is being punished. Showmaker is showing them this Yone and why you do not let it through. They are focusing Jackie Love so well. Kingen on the Jax.
And they're down a combined 3.4, 3.5k gold just in those two roles.
Yeah, it's DK in the driver's seat. They've got these two great split-pushing champions, and they've got 90 seconds to bulldoze some structures inside lanes.
I mean, there's just a lot of standing goals for DK to just grab, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Lucid continues to, like, it looks like he's getting caught, but he can tank so much of the damage up, and it forces Top Esports to overextend again.
Tien missing the Impale. That one's going to hurt as Showmaker has to reset his position with the Soul Unbound. He popped the QSS to get away. Moham's going to keep the fight going. Bullet time gets Tien very low, but he ain't dead yet. Still burning to the Ignite. Barely survived.
DK has kind of reached some of those scaling breakpoints that they needed to. Top, though, going to be moving in is, I feel like DK just thought Top weren't going to even try to contest, and they're not in position to actually fight for this, even with the lead.
Yeah, Showmaker has to snap back, and Top can claim themselves their second
QSS, he has a giant spelt on top. He's got some HP with the Strikebreaker. Like, this is not someone easy to burst down.
Yeah, Cream. Talking about easy to burst down, though, Aurora does not want to get any closer to this Jax. Lucid coming in to back Kingen up, throws out the Glacial Prison, but Cream just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Really, really tough. They need to have that perfect fight where Jackie Love somehow is having a big effect, and they're looking for aiming.
Yeah, they want this misfortune if they can get him. Aiming slowed down, but the Impale has already missed. 369 one of the pincer attack, but it's Kingen coming around from the side now as Jackie Love is immediately locked up, but he's trying to kite it out to get away in time. Kingen down to 1/3 HP, but Showmaker's into the back line with a fade seal. Jackie's still under pressure. Showmaker snapping back. Top Esports with an HP advantage, but nobody dead on either side. Third and Tofo strike comes out. 369 looking to keep the chase going.
Kill the red buff for his team. He's life sealing up off it, but here comes Kingen again, and Jackie Love is off to the side by himself.
Jackie Love at low HP, but the rest of the team is ready to try to turn. Mako with a shattering strike. Top Esports panicking to protect their AD carry. They're forced off the Baron.
So you could argue that that was a one-team fight for Top Esports in the sense that they got position over the Baron, but the health bars are now going back up for DK. The mid tower is going to drop. Top Esports need an opportunity for reset, but they're not going to be given one, as DK is just going to put the pressure immediately back onto Top as they start the Baron.
Beautifully done from DK. Now they're the ones forcing Top Esports to respond. 369 against Kingen is not feeling good for the Cassante. 32 minutes into the game, not against the 3-item Jax. Tien wants to try to dive through the wall, but instead he has to flash away from the solar flare, worrying about getting bursted down himself. The Skarner not tanky too.
And again, that's the awkward spot. We'll see if they can catch one of these recalls.
This could be a little bit greedy from DK. Moham's trying to get out now. Lots of flashes being spent as Lucid also gets himself out. Showmaker looking for an entry into the fight, and aiming goes unstoppable. Bullet time cuts down Mako, and Top Esports are in a 4v5. Aiming with a single shot back at the Jackie Love. Tien coming in, aiming with a flash away. Now as the engage from Moham ain't gonna be good enough. He's down to about death's door, and they finally get him. Cream takes the kill. Lucid's trying to get away, and 369 goes all out, all in, all the way forward for Top Esports. Kingen swoops around to try to cut the wave, but Top just found a miracle.
It's all nines for 369 in this one. Taking over on that fight, gets in on aiming, flips him in, gets
Kingen is very powerful on this top lane. Jax 32 minutes into the game. Lucid about 1/3 HP. Cream wants to keep the Jax away. 369, barely hanging on. Very small health bar. TN wants to guarantee he can secure this objective for his team, but Lucid goes over the wall, ready to jump into the pit. The Baron's going to be claimed by the Aurora of all people. Cream's living the dream. Kingen has to try to get away. Cream still in hot pursuit. The Jax will live, but Top Esports
Aiming oversteps. He steps too far forward, and Top Esports find a window to engage.
Yeah, and honestly, a great read. You know, they saw them walking through the river, just had the read that they might be going for a recall in that brush.
If they're to keep this going. Jack Show completed for Jackie Love will help him against this Yone and Jax trying to dive onto him, but it's still just a single tank item against two very fed divers. Arm guard now completed for Kingen's Jax as well. Top Esports still looking to push onto the tier 3 turret. Mako on the front line, got to be a little bit careful. Jackie Love saves him. Top Esports backing away for now.
And Cream has his death cap now completed. He is solo AP on that team, so he is going to be a massive threat.
Okay, tier 3 turret, just about dead here in the bottom lane. Just about dead over in the mid lane as well. Lucid's gonna be dragged back by the Impale. Cream goes between worlds, and Lucid is down. King into the back, trying to cause some disruption, but he's gonna be hurt next. Moham about to drop. 369 here on the front line. Needs a little bit more damage, and again, the Cassante will not stop. Kingen's on the run. Top Esports looked like they had no shot left, and now they are pushing into the DK base. Showmaker, Kingen, and Aiming all still alive. Top with all 5 men still ready to go, but they gotta be careful with some low health bars. Showmaker goes in for a fate sealed. Big bullet time of the 369. Cream has already killed Showmaker. Aiming is about to be caught. Kingen jumps into a 1v4, but he will not find his hero's moment. An ace for Jackie Love and a sweep for Top Esports. DK tried and they could not do it. Top will rise to the occasion and make their way to the quarterfinals for the first time since 2020, and they will do it with a 2.
Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup.
With the top laners so they can get that XP. But FlyQuest just said, you know what?
Whoa, flash disdain from Whippo, immediately going after Viper. Flash for flash, summoner spells up there, as now HLE making their play here in the mid lane onto Quad. He'll get stunned up, gunned down, first blood. HLE nicely does not round up. Peanut making his way up to that top lane. If they can get this dive before the Urgot hits level 6, surely there's no threat at all on these guys. Whippo finding his ulti now. Doran be taken a little bit low, but not low enough. Whippo's down, nicely executed by the HLE top and jungle duo, and the massive minion wave now just being eaten up by the turret.
So talented individually. You're expecting that they're going to get more done in those 1v1s, in those 2v2s. See, Quad in trouble.
Nice engage from Zeka, going in for the fate sealed. One little bit more damage onto Quad, and the minions finish him off. The minions betray FlyQuest at last, and Zeka takes the solo.
Still one of his most played champions was Yone, right? And it's even better now in this meta, so it is very difficult. Nice sidestep from Masu.
Yeah, Masu staying alive for now, but the hostile takeover just misses everything. Masu and Busio trying to fight back, but Masu's bailout isn't going to be enough. Peanut ends up taking the kill, and now Busio has no way out. HLE, the easy 2v2 here, gets Doran paid. Back in the mid lane, Zeka is trying to get out. FlyQuest are finally on the board, but HLE are still doing better.
For now, they set their sights on a potential play on top side, but again, like, God, this vision from Hanwha from start to finish has just been so good at keeping track of.
Renata with the bailout, you know, won't be likely to look for that, so FlyQuest are going to be able to get something on the top side of the map. They do get first tower there.
Top side. Only turret in the game claimed so far was the tier 1 top. FlyQuest killing that from HLE, but now it's going to be traded.
That is concerning.
Yes,
I agree with you.
So he's becoming stronger, but inspired.
Oh,
okay. Ooh, flashing forward for the Curse of the Sad Mummy. They immediately throw down the miasma to stop Zeka from being able to get away. Nicely done from Inspired and Quad working together to guarantee this one. But now Bwippo's going to be the target for HLE on the other side of the map. Viper flies in with that killer instinct, but it's Bwippo who still falls. Meanwhile, back in the bottom lane, the tier 1 turret is taken down as Inspired goes back in for another bandage toss. Busio not there in time to follow it up with an additional CC.
Even though FlyQuest found a good pick, Hanwha Life is just getting more, and speaking of more...
Uh-oh, Inspired, about to get crashed down to Pawn. He'll try to get away, but the CC is too much, combined with Doran's damage. The Hanwha Life top laner now on a rampage, but Quad's trying to follow it up here, goes in for the Petrifying Gaze. Hanwha's getting locked up. Peanut and Doran both trying to flash back away as they put the damage into Quad, who's barely staying alive with an extra 100 HP. The bailout can't save him, and Hanwha Life is out fighting FlyQuest. Bwipo's still trying to escape, and Doran re-engages with a counter-strike, leap strike combo. HLE don't lose a single man. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was worried about. Even if the game is close, Hanwha Life have incredible skill at fighting.
I genuinely thought that Hanwha had overextended in that play. You saw a nice ulti come through from Quad.
A soul laner, I just don't really think FlyQuest can win, right? Unless they get a huge jump and are able to kill someone off right off the bat.
And that someone would have to be the solo laner, because there's no way you're going to instantly kill the Sejuani as Bwipo tries to get away from this. Peanut missing the Glacial Prison.
Really been stymied by this ward. It caught them on that last play they were looking for, and they sweep out the brush.
I think it's
but
gone.
They just don't realize it's there.
Yeah, FlyQuest, they're way too late. Inspired, he even gets caught with a Glacial Prison and the Magnet Storm, so there's no chance for a steal. Now Zeka tries to jump in. Delight surely going to be caught out here. Inspired with the flash over the wall, tries to get the damage he needs. Bwipo flashing forward with the Fear Beyond Death, chasing down Viper. Bwipo's going to grab that kill. It's 3 dead on HLE. It was a Baron for the Korean team.
But very decisive play off of the engage there from Inspired.
0.9k, the Baron power play.
And the gold is really now within striking distance. But again, the question becomes, can you win the next fight? Because again, you look towards these summoners.
Uh-oh, that's not a fight, man. That is an execution for HLE. They catch Inspired right there near the Gromp. They pick him off.
Fight for that one either anyway, you know, without flash on Bwipo, without flash on Quad. Swing of more than 1,000 gold off the kill on Inspired, the taking camps, the pushed waves. HLE again, you know, getting that edge.
Kaisa at the 3 fully completed items now. You've also got 3 full items completed for Quad's Cassio. There's your Glacial Prison. Zeka wanted to jump in and follow it up, but Inspired chases him back to the Soul Unbound. TP's about to arrive from Bwipo. Zeka with a flash away, barely staying alive. Hostile takeover forces out a couple of flashes, but doesn't get a whole lot. Delight's now going to be put into the grinder. Fear Beyond Death finds him. Inspired, and the rest of FlyQuest chasing after Peanut now. Masu, spear after spear, and he's ready to go. It's 2 dead on HLE. FlyQuest with another big fight.
Masu with a beautiful cleanse there as well. On the ultimate from the Sejuani, instantly is able to cleanse out of that, sidestep the follow-up play, and they get the kills. They're pushing the tier 2. They're trying to defend the base on the other side, though, as Jax is pushing here into Quad.
Crucially, we once again...
Viper with the killer instinct. He goes in after Masu. The bailout is not there in time. Viper with a 1v2 shows his fangs.
Wow, incredible play there from Viper. I was just about to
kill there on to Delight, get the Fear Beyond Death, and the Fear on a Peanut.
And then they turn it onto the Sejuani. Now, though, as we cut back to live.
Back to live, and Bwipo is in a 1v4. Sterix Gage to try to keep him alive. Inspired jumps in. Hostile takeover forces HLE back the other direction. Peanut now in some danger himself. Right back into the grinder.
Oh, he went through the portal. They're trying to flank them.
But now, Bwipo trying to juggle Viper back around the other direction. Viper's in a bad spot, trying to use the stasis to stay alive as Bwipo gives him the thumbs up. Bwipo stays alive. Inspired and Quad now looking for a little bit more back into Doran, who goes for the flash counter-strike, but it ain't gonna work out so well. Doran dies with the Petrifying Gaze. It'll be Baron for FlyQuest.
Bwipo survives, they kill Peanut, they get Doran, they take down Viper, they lose no one, and they're gonna get the Baron as well.
Once again, Hanwha Life over. There was fantastic. Bwipo almost lost his life at the very end, but it was enough. The Dragon not stolen. Peanut.
Yeah, Peanut wanted to jump over the wall. He has no flash. Peanut trying to flex there, steal away, earn the soul, but instead it's just another death for HLE.
The Hextech Soul, the third Baron of the game. Bwipo needs to be careful.
Yeah, Bwipo's gonna get jumped on here yet again. That is their target. Hostile takeover comes in from Busio. Bwipo's still barely hanging on. Sterix finally gonna proc. There is the bailout, but it won't bail out a damn thing. FlyQuest gonna get caught in their own jungle. Masu's already almost dead, and Doran swoops in to guarantee it. HLE finally find the angle they're looking for, and FlyQuest are lambs to the slaughter. Viper's got a triple kill, and Quad's the last man standing. HLE HLE beat him down into the dirt. It's a quadra kill for Viper, an ace for HLE, and a victory march down the mid lane. It was a lot closer than a lot of us were expecting, but the outcome stays the same. HLE, 33 minutes in, will barrel straight to the Nexus and a 1-0 lead.
As hope was at its highest.
Grunting us.
I guess I'm the outside man here. Okay, so pairing it with the Poppy knockup, remember the Snapcast?
Obviously, Busio takes a little bit of a chunk for it, but they don't expose themselves to any sort of a gank. And on the top side, Inspired is just going to be able to take away that.
Right there you see is kind of Quay's only defense mechanism against the Yasuo. You hit him with a fear, point blank. Inspired is ready to make his gank in mid lane, but some nice jukes from Zeka get away from the snowball. He still has to flash out to escape the root.
Exactly. One of the only champions that it's still so hard to react to, because if he really gets that move speed going with that W, rolling the snowball in, even if you see him, you still can't always back off in time.
And you'll notice as well, Zeka played it well by utilizing the E from Yone to navigate his way past the snowball as Peanut hovers around top. Ghost going to be popped.
Goes from Whippo, but now he's heading back the other direction. That might not be the right choice. Whippo's down to 100 HP. He doesn't want to lose out on all this EXP from the minions. Picks up his axe, throws another undertow back. Doran flashing to guarantee the last turret shot doesn't fire off, but it's still first blood over to Hanwha Life Esports.
So essentially zero utility, or as close to zero utility as you can get. Yeah, you have a slow on your Q, but that is about it. So you have to be strong, you have to be able to charge in there, survive, and punish people. And look where Peanut's positioning. Peanut's already there to actually zone him off when he walks back. So if Inspired is not covering Bwipo some more, Bwipo is going to be completely out of this game. And even if the rest of the map goes well, it's not going to matter because you're playing 4v5 for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and now he's trying to make his way back, pops the Ragnarok, wants to turn it back onto the jungler, I would have to think, but it's so difficult to do. Finally using the W shield, just barely staying alive, but surely he's just dead now. Cole the Meek, Bwipo is out for the second time, and Hanwha Life
have the same tools that they had in the previous game. Admittedly, I still think that their team fighting is good. It's just a question of how much worse can HLE make this early game.
All right, Inspired's coming in. Goes from Bwipo, chasing after Doran, popping the Ragnarok, wants to get as much damage as possible. Whippo's gonna be the first one to tank the turret, and Bwipo, with the help from Inspired, FlyQuest.
Yeah, and I think honestly he just didn't want to chase that far. You know, I think he is just kind of canceling it out basically. When Zeka got that far back, he was gonna be under his tower if they went for the dive. Just knows there's not really an angle for the grubs when Bwipo can't really respond.
Uh-oh. Speaking of not being able to respond, Doran going all the way in here for the slice, the dice, the dive. It's nice. Doran getting a solo kill now. He doesn't even need Peanut anymore. The Croc is all grown up and
honestly, if you're FlyQuest, you're looking for 4v4s and you're looking to be able to outplay in those 4v4s. You're hoping that there's... The attempted engage from Busio, but the Zenith Blade is interrupted with a steadfast presence. Viper gets away, both summoner spells spent on that one. Flash, shielded Daybreak from Busio to try to lock up Peanut, but it ain't gonna work out so well. TP reinforcements from HLE. Busio stuck in the middle of 4 players, and he ain't gonna get away from this one. Peanut's gonna be the trade, at least a 1-for-1 here in the scrap, but Masu is on the run. The Mystic shot, but the flash from the Callista keeps him alive.
A very forced play there from FlyQuest. You could see that once
you got Flash off Peanut, you got both summoners off of Viper, you got the Ignite off Delight. You know, they did force out a lot. Yes, it did cost them the Flash off Masu and the summoners from Busio, but still overall, I think it's a pretty positive play, and they're going to need to make these incremental
objectives traded mostly evenly early on here in this game. 5 grubs to 1 favoring HLE, 2 drakes to nothing favoring FlyQuest. Cloud Soul, not quite as potent as some other ones could be, but on a champion like Olaf, it's really good. 2v1 here in the bottom lane. Spiraling Despair connects onto Doran. Do they have enough damage to take him out, though? It's just Busio and Quad's already used most of his spells. Severing Bolts doesn't hit the target, and Doran lives.
Look top, look top.
Zeka now in some trouble as the snowball's making its way in, but a nice flash away from it when Inspired can't make the turn. Bwipo looking for a little bit more damage here to chase this guy down. The absolute zero isn't going to get a whole lot, and now Zeka can reset his shield with the last breath. Another kill for HLE.
Nicely done by Zeka there. Bought so much time, dashing back and forth, creating space, allows HLE to come in and reinforce, but still, it's a great play from FlyQuest on that bottom side. Even though they don't kill Doran, they force his flash, they force his ulti, they take down the tier 1 tower and get more gold in the hands of Quad.
Ultimately, the problem is,
Another dive, this time on mid lane. It's Viper! Shot to pieces with the spears, the shutdown, but it ends up going over to Busio.
That's actually so unlucky there. The Ignite tick took it right after the Ren went through, so Masu rendered them down to a couple HP, and the Ignite is what gives that shutdown gold over. You would have really loved to get that in the hands of Masu. They're going to look again. No flash, remember.
All right, Zeka could be in some danger here, but he might just try to turn it around back onto Bwipo with a redemption coming in, though. Bwipo will stay alive, and the shutdown this time goes over to Quad.
So the problem I had with the play from earlier is that FlyQuest was trying to make too many plays on the map, and by making a play both bot and top, it was going to be difficult to respond to the response from HLE, who were able to find that kill. The good news for FlyQuest is they find another kill top, but by investing 3 members top and including the TP from Quad, they leave the bot lane tower completely exposed for Doran to be able to secure, and the mid lane tower ends up falling thanks to the Rift Herald dropped by Hanwha Life. So they still hold on to about a 2.5k gold lead. They set their sights on Doran though.
All right, that snowball will not find the angle that Inspired wants.
He's gonna get rooted by
the E. Doran's trying to use his teleport to get away, but that is not how it's gonna work. Nunu's shield to keep himself alive against some of Doran's bursts, and Inspired will just disengage it as Doran gets caught and wastes a very critical
We can see Zeka on top side. This might be them just giving the dragon. We'll see if FlyQuest can secure it.
Zeka does have his teleport, and it looks like HLE are calling to use it. Busio eating a couple of shots here as FlyQuest is looking to DPS the Drake down. They've got Nunu and Kalista together. They should be able to secure this one, but they immediately get rid of the Nunu, and it's stolen away by Peanut. Bwipo's in the middle of everybody, but he's already going to be killed. They're trying to turn it back on the door on a FlyQuest side, but it ain't going to work. He survives the Spiraling Despair, and now Zeka's into the backline here as well, but he might just get killed. Quad grabbing a kill on that one as Delight tries to get away, but Masu is putting him like a pin cushion down here in the bottom lane. Quad ends up taking the kill, and FlyQuest, they lose the objective, but they come out +1
Very
on the
promising.
kill.
This mid game, similar to last game, they just get caught. And this is not something I typically associate with HLE. Their team fighting, however, can't afford to be underestimated as...
Oh, nice lock up there with a solar flare from Busio, but Delight can still get himself away. Yes, Spiraling Despair connects, but there's no way they can do enough damage to follow up with the tier 1 still standing.
But still, that's Cleanse, that's Flash off of Viper by AWS, getting a lot closer to parity here. Jumped up to a very heavily HLE favored game, but they are threatening this Baron. And this is Zyra. You can rush this.
Yeah, this is such a good Zyra tactic. Using the ulti, the Stranglethorns to force it down. Inspired and Masu know it's there. A nice sidestep on the Keeper's Verdict from Inspired. He's wanting to keep it leashed. FlyQuest is threatening to just try to steal it away. They even dropped the redemption, but the burst already onto Masu. They're going to be able to kill him up, but FlyQuest claims the Baron. A little bit more damage, might be able to kill Delight. They're trying to chase after him. Now you got the Ragnarok. Peanut trying to get away with a flashback over the wall. FlyQuest still in hot pursuit. Doran and Peanut looking to get away, but Viper is dead.
A massive teamfight win for FlyQuest as they punish the Baron for HLE. It starts off incredibly well for HLE as they target out Masu, but the rest of the fight goes entirely the way of FlyQuest.
Exactly, it's just so smart from Inspired. You try to rush that in front of the Nunu's face, he just doesn't let you leash it, and now they're going for Zeka.
Busio wants in, they knock Zeka up into the air, but the wind wall is doing a ton of heavy lifting, keeping the Yasuo alive. Busio has gone in too far, Spiraling Despair is there. Zeka survives the explosion, and Doran now chases after Quad. Inspired.
How hard this game was for how it started out. He's actually up in gold now after getting dove 2 times early on a champion that generally needs to play from ahead. He has found ways to be effective, found ways to get gold, and found ways to give FlyQuest a chance in this game.
He's also found a way behind enemy lines. Bwipo is on the flank. He's pretty isolated right now. Peanut is already down. Solar Flare sets it up for Bwipo to knock it down, and now it's a double kill, and Zeka is already dead here too. Doran running away. FlyQuest pushing again. They are out fighting HLE, and FlyQuest have a 5v3.
It's Bwipo on the flank after he forced Peanut's flash over by the Baron. They get in on the backline. They use the Severing Bolt from Quad as well to get the extra damage to finish him off. And they're going to have Prio on this dragon. They're going to be moving to Soul Point here with the Cloud Soul, with this team that heavily relies on movement. It's going to be strong.
Bwipo is a talented man, but I did not know that he was such a proficient gardener. The way that he just cut through that Zyra made it look seamless as they get themselves their 3rd dragon of the game.
He's just at 2 end pieces. Viper doesn't have his 3rd item yet either.
If we're talking about items, we're talking about money. We should be talking about a 1.7 thousand gold lead for Bwipo. The recovery from the early game, we already touched on it, but it feels like it just keeps growing here for the Olaf.
And it might seem weird to you that he's got magic resistance. Oh, hang
Hold on now. Inspired, eating a little bit of damage here, but they're going to stun up Doran instead. Spiraling Despair. The Sterix Gauge is not going to keep the Gator alive. Baron is up.
They're going to start the Baron here. They're going to try to force HLE into a 4v5 fight. Look at where Zeka is. He's got a TP.
The rest of HLE still has all of their resources, though. Keep it in mind. Looks like they're not going to fight for it. Zeka just trying to take the tier 2 instead.
They're going to try to play for the bot lane tier 2 and try to set up for this dragon because they know they can't give soul. So they're trying to play for the tier 2s. They're pushing up mid. They're pushing up bot. They're trying to get vision here to try to play to deny soul. They know if they give up soul from this spot, they are very close to losing the game.
Big gold influx there with 2 tier 2s being knocked down. Zeka wants to use the TP. It's interrupted by Inspired. They found the Yasuo, but do they have the follow-up in time? HLE reinforcing their mid laner as FlyQuest cannot get the pick in time.
Whippo is still threatening. Someone's got to go and answer him, and it can only really be Doran now because he's the only one with the TP, but he's going to be late to the play. He can't use his TP, so the tier 2 tower is gone. Whippo can base, buy another item, and look for soul here.
HLE, though, they're going to start up the Drake. They want to force this down before FlyQuest is able to respond. Busio and Inspired stepping up. Whippo coming in right behind him here with the TP. HLE, they can try to teleport Doran in if they really want to try to contest this, but it looks like that's not the play. The Dragon Soul should be secured here, barring something completely wacky, and that's it. Soul secured.
This comp that has such powerful secure on these objectives, so if they can continue to extend this advantage, HLE can't just win through sides, and they can't really depend on just stealing an objective.
Now, we have to see if FlyQuest can keep this momentum up, if they can keep this late game feeling clean. It's almost 30 minutes on the clock. They've got the Soul, they've got the Baron. Solar Flare isn't going to find anything, but it will create some space. Inspired still trying to frontline as Whippo's ready to go. Berserk and dive right on in, but a Keeper's Verdict knocks one of the remaining players of FlyQuest away. It's already Whippo going over to Fly. Doran into the back line. Quad in some trouble, but he flashes away. Whippo needs a little bit more damage, but he ain't going to find Viper. FlyQuest, though, still firing back into Doran. They don't have the damage for the kill here just yet. A flash forward from Inspired for a point-blank snowball as Masu rescues Busio, but he's caught by the Strangle Thorns, and Viper's got the damage to kill him. Busio's going to be cleaned up now as well. FlyQuest force hard, trying to look for the big moment there.
And like this should be a walk in the park for them. So the fact that FlyQuest are competing in the team fights, they're punishing the mistakes is huge.
Inspired rolling in with a snowball here, but not a whole lot to find.
Nice combo, though. Snowball into the Severing Bolt. Chunks out Viper quite a bit, and they're going to threaten here.
Yeah, they want to fully engage this time. They've got a lot of damage onto the light, and that is an easy pick for FlyQuest. 5v4 now for the next 40 seconds. They're going to continue to push under the tier 3 turret. Stranglethorn's used to not great efficacy. Peanut still trying to get away back through the wall as the Ragnaroking Whippo zones everybody else out. He's got to be careful about this when he's tanking a lot of damage here from the tier 3 turret. FlyQuest needs another wave as HLE hold on.
And they're just trying to force mid because there's the super minions coming in through bots.
He's coming in from Zeka. There's a lot of spears from Kalista in this Baron right now with Kalista and Inspired together. FlyQuest are going to try to secure it, and they've already got it. Whippo running into the middle of everybody. Doran trying to do the same thing on the opposite side. Keeper's Verdict again going to find a single ejection as now Doran is already down. Masu's grabbing the first kill. FlyQuest is ready to keep going, and Busio's got a lockup, but he may have gone too far forward. Busio's going to be killed there by the True Shot Barrage. A 1-for-1 trade as FlyQuest claims the Baron.
The team
Look at the Supers going bot.
The Supers are marching bottom lane, but HLE has found their way into the Elder Dragon pit. TP ready to join. Delight is behind. A 4v4 for the next 15 seconds. Doran is still capable of joining. You gotta be careful if you're on HLE. Zeka's here on the front line, but a beautiful True Shot Barrage. Quad's gonna be taken down shortly. Zeka's gonna find him with the last breath, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Whipple's still here on the front line. Viper running and gunning. He kites him out. He fights it out. Him against Masu and Inspired. But the Nunu and Kalista together will secure the Elder Dragon. Doran responds, but he has to defend the base.
And now they can try to look to push here. They have the extra man. Busio has respawned. They're going to try to go down towards bot. They're looking to see if they can actually catch Viper.
Gold, but really, it's all just about execution now if they want to try to force a fight. Inspired, rolling in with a snowball. Baron's got 10 seconds left on it. FlyQuest knows if they want to try to hard force, it's got to be now. The top lane tier 3 turret is down. Top lane inhibitor is down. FlyQuest marching towards the Nexus turrets of HLE. Inspired throws a snowball, but he doesn't want to overcommit here just yet. Elder is still active. They're diving in towards HLE. Delight's going to be here on the front line, already executed by the Elder Dragon. Doran's going to be killed off next.
They're doing it!
Already dead for HLE. FlyQuest going for the throat. Zeka will not survive. A double kill back over the quad. Nexus turret still standing, but they're the only damn thing. FlyQuest, they've still got everybody. It's only Viper to try to defend here at just a barely hanging on second Nexus turret. That one's already down. Nexus turret number 2, it's on its way into the rubble pit as well. FlyQuest defying expectations, taking us to game.
If you're like, oh, you're gonna go Aurelia or you're gonna go Kennen, that's not really what he likes to play. So Sion, I do think makes a lot of sense here. This is just a really beefy
comps just beat talent, and FlyQuest are consistently drafting in a way that allows them to have that advantage in the late game. And Azael is talking about how he has confidence in their late game prowess. I completely understand where he's coming from. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not they can get through this laning phase and get to those late game fights, and how HLE will play around the Baron.
Delight in some trouble here, though. He's level 1, Busio level 2. Masu with the flash over the wall to chase after Delight.
Late,
Once
though.
the last auto attack doesn't find it, Masu just a little bit late there with the summoner follow. But Inspired showing up down here in the bottom lane. Whippo's down to 200 HP. Oh, the attempted flash after the Vault Breaker to connect on Viper. So HLE coming out on top.
into a dicey fight. You don't need to go for a 50-50 fight. Just play cross map and trade objectives.
Exactly. That's what they're doing right here. They know that Hanwha Life is more interested in the grubs. They will concede that entire trio, but instead Inspired immediately ready to jump into the Drake pit, claim that first Drake, Hex Tech Drake, so it means there won't be that super valuable Hex Tech Soul, but Zeka now has to retreat away from Quad back here in the mid lane.
He's so much stronger in the early game skirmishes, so Masu gonna fall a little bit behind in terms of farm. You can see that gold discrepancy slowly starting to build. Overall though, FlyQuest.
Gage, Busio, Shattering Strike into the crash down, but Peanut is here. He's got the Impale, and this is surely first blood for HLE, and they're putting it on the dude who wants it most. Viper's getting paid.
And again, out towards top, he's just trying to be very efficient with his time. And they do cancel recall one more time. Whippo could be in some danger. They're gonna look for a wraparound.
Yeah, remember that Whippo does have the ability to use the ulti to try to get away, but they stand right in front of him exactly the way you want to outplay the Sion ulti. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, Busio and Inspire trying to make the play here on Delight, but a beautiful amount of damage from Viper there with a Feather Call. Now he tries to get a little bit more, and Viper outplays him and slays him down here in the bottom lane. HLE's AD carry does not want to lose this series.
Viper is going to be pushing bot so they could secure the Drake, but they're going to move Zeka off to bot. Doran's going to catch mid, and they're going to get themselves their first dragon of the game.
But we'll see what FlyQuest can do from here, because obviously they were down 3,000 gold, you know, this early or even earlier last
They've been
game.
down every
First items coming online across the board, really. Rod of Ages again for the Cassiopeia. Peanut wanting to make a gank up here into the top lane, but this time Whippo can use that ultimate to get himself away in time. The Impale interrupts his decimating smash. They're looking for a little bit more damage onto him here. Viper free firing pretty hard onto the Sion, but Whippo again just knocking him back up into the air. Blade Collar takes him low, but it won't take him down. As Hanwha Life still just trying to get this wave pushed up. They would love to be able to knock down the last little bit of this turret. Whippo barely hanging on, almost no HP left. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, another fight's going to be breaking out as Zeka and Delight try to stay in and fight, but Whippo's going to be killed underneath the tier 1 turret at the top lane at the same time. A little bit more damage on the Zeka. Ain't going to do it here just yet. Inspired critically low. Zeka still fighting. A slam back into the wall. Inspired is alive, and Zeka's down.
Just kind of zoning Viper out, you know,
fair,
giving his life and having the team win on the other side. So I think that's going to be what they're looking for. But the problem is, HLE, his early game has been so strong. He's been pathing well, and we're going to see another tower die here as HLE just step forward, threaten it, and continue. See if they can get some gold back.
Yeah, the name of the game for FlyQuest is stall, 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 because HLE is so far in control of this game. You can see the inventory of Quad. The Rod of Ages stacked up to 6. He's got about 2/3 of the stacks on the tier as well, so around the time that he completes that Archangel staff, it should be nearly ready to immediately evolve as Whippo is once again in a compromised position. He flashes away so he can use the ulti to continue
Well, it's going to be
escape.
throwing that ult on
Well,
Desire.
here we go.
We have HLE on Baron.
Yeah, HLE's starting this one up. They know how powerful their carry is. Now with Immortal Reminder fully completed. Down there in the bottom lane, Whippo having to back away from Doran at the same time. HLE unchallenged in the Baron so far, but now FlyQuest trying to step up.
No
Delight here in the
flash.
very front. They try to jump in. Inspired wants to go after the Poppy, but it ain't going to matter a whole lot. Quad's going to get caught. Nice Feather Collar, but it doesn't matter. Viper's already down. Whippo teleports into the fight, but so does Doran. It's a 2-for-2 so far. Peanut trying to get away. Masu needs to buy a little bit of time. Busio here in the front line, but it ain't going to matter. Masu now in trouble. Meganar misses. Sidestep comes out, but the Proto Belt is still there. It's a 1v3, and Masu's done for. That's a nice fight for HLE. Yeah, they lost their Fed guy, but it took way too much from FlyQuest and the remaining 3 men from Hanwha Life.
0-0, but the stolen Vial and then Peanut CC in on the back line. And Busio and Whippo just can't buy enough space here for Masu.
I mean, when Quad flashes in with the W and he connects it onto both Viper and Delight, you're like, oh nice, now they can't do anything, but that's the beauty of the Xayah ulti. You can just throw that up and you're completely safe in that situation while making that dive so much harder.
FlyQuest now in a really tough spot. They're down over 8,000 gold, and HLE wants to end this game fast. They do not want to allow FlyQuest to try to scale to a point where they can come back into this game. Doran's going to be split pushing over in mid lane, while the remaining 4 players on HLE put the pressure on the tier 3 turret bottom. They've still got this Baron for another minute.
Out of FlyQuest's hands when you are down, over 8,000 gold, when you have your opponents at soul point, when you have your opponents with that Baron buff. So FlyQuest gonna have to wait for mistakes and see if they can find an opportunity.
Zeka's the target, but he uses the stasis to get away from the Vi ultimate. Magnet Storm followed by the Killer Instinct from Masu. A pick for FlyQuest on the HLE mid laner, but at the cost of so many resources. Bwipo now trying to defend underneath the tier 2 turret here in the top lane, but the rest of FlyQuest is coming to collapse. Inspired has gone over the wall, coming up behind Delight. Bwipo surely going to be killed here, but remember that he comes back to life. FlyQuest still trying to keep the fight going. Busio goes over the wall. Delight's going to be your target here with a Shattering Strike coming out, but a little bit more damage is still going to be required. Busio grabbing the kill on that one. Petrifying Gaze onto Peanut. Viper and Dawn still trying to fight, but a massive impale from Peanut to turn it right back around. That might just be the game from the Hanwha Life jungler.
Quad is forced to retreat as Hanwha Life find a massive fight. Viper and Peanut do it once again. The 3-man ultimate into the feathers mean that the inhibitor will fall and HLE set their sights on the Nexus.
HLE on the victory march. FlyQuest did everything they could to try to stop it. They pushed HLE to a game 3, but you don't become #1 in the LCK for nothing. They're on to the Nexus turrets, and they want to end the game and end the series here. Doran down to about 1/3 HP as Zeka has to retreat now as well. Peanut trying to get away back through the bottom lane. He cruises through the wall. HLE heading back away. Peanut going to try to execute to the turret. The shield to buy a little bit of extra time, but it still doesn't matter. Busio will get the kill credit. FlyQuest hang on ever so barely.
And I think this is the right call here from FlyQuest. I think you're almost guaranteed to lose from that spot. And honestly, one dragon doesn't get you back into the game, even if you're able.
They're not going to be given any opportunity to steal this one away. The vision has been denied. Delight is hovering on the outside of the pit. There's Doran acting as bodyguard as well. And that's going to be a Baron secured for Hanwha Life.
Zeka even stealing away the Vi ultimate, so in case anybody from FlyQuest tries to stop it, he can immediately jump in to punish. Doran jumps in, wants to go for the Mega Gnar, but he doesn't find a whole lot of success with it. Zeka versus Inspired off to the side as FlyQuest try to hold the line. Miasma to stop HLE from stepping any further forward. Doran at about half HP. Bwipo doing the same. Over the wall goes Zeka. He's into the back line, but he uses the stasis. Magnet Storm from Busio looking to keep everybody locked up, but Viper is already unstoppable and FlyQuest is crumbling. A little bit more damage from Doran might get it done, but Quad kills Delight. FlyQuest scrambling, but it will not matter. HLE will not be denied. The LCK's #1 seed will earn their win, earn their ticket to the quarterfinals. 19-8, 30 minutes in, they'll take the series.
And what a heroic performance by Peanut. He was crushing it in this series.
These were the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.